Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side, which he never shows to anybody. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. And never regret anything that made you smile. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Loyalty to country always, loyalty to government when it deserves it. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Write without pay until somebody offers to pay. I have found out that there ain't no surer way to find out whether you like people or hate them than to travel with them. Get your facts first, and then you can distort them as much as you please. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. Never put off till tomorrow what may be done day after tomorrow just as well. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. The difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. Don't dream your life, but live your dream. The lack of money is the root of all evil. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Life does not consist mainly, or even largely, of facts or happenings. It consists mainly of the storm of thoughts that is forever flowing through one's head. Life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. The truth hurts, but silence kills. Nature knows no indecencies, man invents them. Facts are stubborn things, but statistics are pliable. A successful book is not made of what is in it, but what is left out of it. Don't wrestle with pigs, you both get dirty and the pig likes it. It's easy to make friends, but hard to get rid of them. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. When I am king they shall not have bread and shelter only, but also teachings out of books, for a full belly is little worth where the mind is starved. Life is short, break the rules. Out of all the things I have lost, I miss mine the most. Data is like garbage, you'd better know what you are going to do with it before you collect it. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Behind every successful man, there is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man, there are two. If you want to change the future, you must change what you're doing in the present. The secret of making progress is to get started. Never miss an opportunity to shut up. We regret the things we don't do more than the things we do. A good lawyer knows the law. A clever one takes the judge to lunch. A tax is a fine for doing well. A fine is a tax for doing wrong. Religion was invented when the first con man met the first fool. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. If you have nothing to say, say nothing. Knowledge becomes wisdom only after it has been put to good use. Go to bed early, get up early, this is wise. When the end of the world comes, I want to be in Kentucky, because everything there happens 20 years after it happens anywhere else. Prediction is difficult, particularly when it involves the future. Focus more on your desire than on your doubt, and the dream will take care of itself. Great things can happen when you don't care who gets the credit. To someone with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. One must travel to learn. To succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. The inability to forget is far more devastating than the inability to remember. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Don't wait, the time is never just right. There is no such thing as a new idea. We simply take a lot of old ideas and put them into a sort of mental kaleidoscope. I can teach anybody how to get what they want out of life. The problem is that I can't find anybody who can tell me what they want. There is nothing to be learned from the second kick of a mule. Supposing is good, but finding out is better. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Never have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. You meet people who forget you. You forget people you meet, but sometimes you meet those people you can't forget. Those are your friends. Quitting smoking is easy. I've done it hundreds of times. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell. You see, I have friends in both places. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Tough times teach trust. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live a fulfilled life. We need to keep creating the what is next of our lives. Without dreams and goals there is no living, only merely existing, and that is not why we are here. The very ink with which history is written is merely fluid prejudice. When in doubt, tell the truth. It will confound your enemies and astound your friends. Life is short. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, and love truly. To be busy is man's only happiness. The secret to success: find out where people are going and get there first. The only certainties in life are death and taxes. If everyone was satisfied with himself, there would be no heroes. A man is never more truthful than when he acknowledges himself a liar. Whatever you say it with conviction. Too bad that youth is wasted on the young. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. My father was an amazing man. The older I got, the smarter he got. Temper is what gets most of us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. Good fathers not only tell us how to live, they show us. Do something every day that you don't want to do. Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold. We can achieve what we can conceive and believe. For the majority of us, the past is a regret, the future an experiment. Always obey your parents when they are present. Independence is loyalty to one's best self and principles, and this is often disloyalty to the general idols and fetishes. When the world is made to be idiot-proof, the world will become overpopulated with idiots. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Irreverence is the champion of liberty and its only sure defense. The dog is a gentleman, I hope, to go to his heaven, not man's. The nation is divided, half patriots and half traitors, and no man can tell which from which. Politicians, old buildings, and prostitutes become respectable with age. Let us consider that we are all insane. It will explain us to each other. It will unriddle many riddles. I like criticism, but it must be my way. If work were so pleasant, the rich would keep it for themselves. Why is it that we rejoice at a birth and grieve at a funeral? It is because we are not the person involved. I am only human, although I regret it. It is noble to teach oneself. It is still nobler to teach others. Optimist, person who travels on nothing from nowhere to happiness. The writing begins when you've finished, only then do you know what you're trying to say. A journalist is a reporter out of a job. The calamity that comes is never the one we had prepared ourselves for. To be good is noble, but to show others how to be good is nobler and no trouble. Apparently, there is nothing that cannot happen today. Unused talents gives you no advantage over someone who has no talent at all. Never be haughty to the humble, never be humble to the haughty. Don't wake up a woman in love, let her dream so that she does not weep when she returns to her bitter reality. The universal brotherhood of man is our most precious possession. But death was sweet, death was gentle, death was kind, death healed the bruised spirit and the broken heart, and gave them rest and forgetfulness. Death was man's best friend when man could endure life no longer. Death came and set him free. On with the dance, let the joy be unconfined. The ancient stole all our ideas from us. He liked to like people, therefore people liked him. Distance lends enchantment to the view. The offspring of riches, pride, vanity, ostentation, arrogance, tyranny. Don't go to sleep. So many people die there. France has neither winter, nor summer, nor morals. France is miserable because it is filled with Frenchmen, and Frenchmen are miserable because they live in France. The citizen who sees his society's democratic clothes being worn out and does not cry it out is not a patriot, but a traitor. It is best to read the weather forecast before praying for rain. We have the best government that money can buy. The weakest of all weak things is a virtue that has not been tested in the fire. Education, that which reveals to the wise and conceals from the stupid the vast limits of their knowledge. Every man is a moon, he has a side no one sees. Laughter is the greatest weapon we have, and we, as humans, use it the least. The radical of one century is the conservative of the next. The radical invents the views. When he has worn them out, the conservative adopt. The art of prophecy is very difficult, especially with respect to the future. A circle is a round straight line with a hole in the middle. Children and fools always speak the truth. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended. Yet deep down in his private heart no man much respects himself. Public opinion is held in reverence. It settles everything. Some think it is the voice of God. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts. If horses knew their strength, we should not ride any more. When I want to read something nice, I sit down and write it myself. A human being has a natural desire to have more of a good thing than he needs. What a wee little part of a person's life are his acts, and his words, his real life, is led in his head, and is known to none but himself. Talent without work is useless, thank God. I smoke in moderation, only one cigar at a time. Thousands of geniuses live and die undiscovered, either by themselves or by others. Be careless in your dress if you will, but keep a tidy soul. Pessimism is only the name that men of weak nerve give to wisdom. There comes a time in every rightly constructed boy's life when he has a raging desire to go somewhere and dig for hidden treasure. such is professional jealousy. A scientist will never show any kindness for a theory which he did not start himself. Fame is a vapor, popularity an accident, the only earthly certainty is oblivion. Memories which someday will become all beautiful, when the last annoyance that encumbers them shall have faded out of our minds. Civilization largely consists in hiding human nature. When the barbarian learns to hide it, we account him enlightened. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about even the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. There are 3 things men can do with women: love them, suffer them, or turn them into literature. It is easier to stay out than get out. I once sent a dozen of my friends a telegram saying, "Flee at once, all is discovered." They all left town immediately. If it is a miracle, any sort of evidence will answer. But if it is a fact, proof is necessary. Never refuse to do a kindness unless the act would work great injury to yourself, and never refuse to take a drink under any circumstances. There has been much tragedy in my life, at least half of it actually happened. The finest clothing made is a person's own skin, but, of course, society demands something more than this. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. The law of work seems unfair, but nothing can change it. The more enjoyment you get out of your work, the more money you will make. I wish I could make him understand that a loving, good heart is riches enough, and that without it intellect is poverty. One compliment can keep me going for a whole month. If I cannot smoke in heaven, then I shall not go. Human nature is the same everywhere. It deifies success. It has nothing but scorn for defeat. On with dance, let joy be unconfined, is my motto. Whether there's any dance to dance or any joy too unconfined. There's one way to find out if a man is honest. Ask him if he says yes, you know he's crooked. Words are only painted fire. A look is the fire itself. We may not pay Satan reverence, for that would be indiscreet, but we can at least respect his talents. The 1st of April is the day we remember what we are, the other 364 days of the year. A newspaper is not just for reporting the news as it is, but to make people mad enough to do something about it. I couldn't bear to think about it, and yet, somehow, I couldn't think about nothing else. All emotion is involuntary when genuine. My mother had a slender, small body, but a large heart, a heart so large that everybody's joys found welcome in it, and hospitable accommodation. Give a man a reputation as an early riser, and he can sleep till noon. Only he who has seen better days and lives to see better days again knows their full value. We are always more anxious to be distinguished for a talent which we do not possess than to be praised for the 15 which we do possess. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The moral sense enables one to perceive morality and avoid it, the immoral. Sense enables one to perceive immorality and enjoy it. You want to be very careful about lying, otherwise you are nearly sure to get caught. Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. Lord, save us all from a hope tree that has lost the faculty of putting out blossoms. Take your mind out every now and then and dance on. It is getting all caked up. Not until you become a stranger to yourself will you be able to make acquaintance with the friend. A sound heart is a surer guide than an ill-trained conscience. But the elastic heart of youth cannot be compressed into one constrained shape long at a time. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel.